Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Toya, and I am back with another episode of the By Default Black Doctor Spotlight. And I am joined by Dr. Lola Ashaye. She is a family medicine physician and the CEO of In Touch Primary Care, which is a membership practice in Sugar Land, Texas. Welcome, Dr. Lola.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Toya, for having me.
Yes, I'm excited to have you. I don't know if I've had anybody all the way in Texas. So, yes, I'm excited. So before we get into your practice, tell our viewers a little bit more about you, where you're from, a little bit about your background.
Sure. I'm original Nigerian, but I live in Texas right now and moved around a little bit. Was in Michigan for high school and then Chicago, and then now in Texas with family.
Gotcha.
And I'm family medicine and lifestyle medicine doctor. And that's me. And I love preventative care. I'm so passionate about it.
That's one that I like to hear it because primary care is like, ugh, for me. Even though OBGYNs are considered primary care, I don't think we are. I'm glad that people are out there doing the work and that you actually enjoy it. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
You mentioned family medicine and lifestyle medicine. So for those who don't know, what exactly is lifestyle medicine?
So, lifestyle medicine is basically the foundation of medicine, where we're focusing on healthy nutrition, especially whole food, plant-based nutrition, sleep, increasing physical activity, reducing stress, avoiding substances that are harmful to the body. So basically, really focusing on those things to not only prevent conditions, but actually treat many serious health conditions. So there's so much research that has shown that by doing a lot of these things, just by changing our diet, by being physically active, by sleeping, by reducing stress, by avoiding risky substances, so many health conditions that we see now in this century can actually be reversed or completely prevented. And so that's what lifestyle medicine is about.
Okay, so it sounds like it's perfect for the community that we serve and that I serve at By Default, right? Because we have the Black community in the United States that is plagued by so many of these chronic conditions, and people in general don't want to be treated. They want to not even be there, right? You don't want to be on a bunch of pills and things like that. And I feel like more now in the forefront is holistic preventive measures and things like that. So it sounds like lifestyle medicine is perfect for the Black community. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. A lot of the conditions that we see in the Black community, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, can be reversed with a lot of the things that we do in lifestyle medicine. Yes.
Yeah. And when I hear, I can't speak for anybody else, when I hear plant-based, I get really worried. I like my meat. I don't know. So are you saying that we have to be vegan? Is that what you're
So
telling?
no. So
Okay.
that's the thing that scares people a lot of times. Oh, does that mean I have to be vegan? I'm not vegan. I don't put that pressure, but the truth is that we know we can do better in terms
Right.
of incorporating a lot of healthy foods in our diet. And I think it's just moving towards increasing the amount of vegetables that we eat, the amount of real food rather than processed foods, whole foods. And if we're just conscious about that, it makes a difference. And the truth is, you actually feel so much better.
Yeah.
Like it's not even just about preventing something that may never happen to you if you feel like, oh, I'm already healthy, I don't need that. Even if you don't have any health conditions, you just feel so much better.
Yeah.
Everything tastes better, things look better, colors are better, like everything is better.
There
So
are
it's
rainbows
worth
in the
it.
sky every day.
Yes. You have more energy. So
Yeah.
outside of just preventing health conditions, you can just live better. So
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So every time I interview somebody who does like whole food, plant-based, I say, yes, I'm inspired. I'm gonna do it. And then I don't. So it's a good thing to have the reminder. So every time I interview somebody, I will ask again, and it will give me the boost again to try to do it. Because you're right. We fluctuate to be veganish every now and then, and the difference in your body is significant. The way that you feel, GI system, like everything just feels so much lighter. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's crazy when you actually do it.
Yeah, and it's a combination. Like what I say is don't focus so much on all the stuff you cannot eat.
Right.
When I talk to my patients, because that can be really frustrating, right? Oh, don't eat sugar, don't eat salt, don't eat fat.
Right.
What am I going to like?
Right. Mm,
There's nothing left. I don't like focusing so much on don't eat meat. I tend to focus more on eat more vegetables, drink more water, eat more
yeah.
fruits. Like think about all the stuff that you actually like eating
Yeah.
in terms of vegetables and fruits and nuts and eat more of that. And then naturally you will stop eating a lot of the other stuff because your mind starts to change, your taste buds start to
Yeah.
change as you incorporate more of those things. Yeah.
No, and I found that when you start with the vegetables, you actually you full, you stay full longer.
Right.
So I think it's conditioning in our mind that we need meat protein to be full when
Right.
vegetables have a lot of protein and they actually keep you full longer. Yeah.
So that's a good point.
Yeah. So tell us how you incorporate this in your private practice in Texas.
Yeah, I have a membership practice. And so, because of that, that really gives me the time to be able to actually sit down and talk to my patients without feeling rushed. So, that's a huge asset.
Yeah.
And because I have that time where I'm able to find out where they are. So, first of all, I usually just talk to them. Okay, what's your mindset? Are you even ready for this at all? Because there's no
Mm.
point talking about it if some people are just give me the pill. Like,
Right.
and that's fine. We talk about all that stuff. Are you ready? Are you
Mhm.
confident you can do this? And if we've decided that they're ready, they want to do it, then we do a stepwise approach. So it's not, oh, just stop eating meat and that's all. No, we're like, okay, what can we add to your diet for this next month? And
Mm.
then we write it down. It's a goal. We both sign it. An official prescription.
Oh, wow.
So they know, and I say, okay, put this up on your wall. This is what we're doing for the next month. And so because we're so much more intentional about it, people are getting much better results because
Mhm.
first of all, it's not overwhelming. It's
Yeah.
not, don't eat meat, don't eat
Right.
fat, don't eat sugar, come back in 6 months. That's not practical because food is cultural, it's
Right.
emotional. There's so much that goes into food. But by doing it like that, just little at a time, and making it an intentional goal that we set together that we can come back and talk about a month later, it feels a lot easier for them.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, just like doing it together and
Right.
accountability. And because it's membership, they can come in as many times as they need. They
Mm.
can text me in between, hey doc, what vegetable did you say that was? Like they can ask questions. And so it's so much easier for them to follow through with the plan.
Good. Tell our viewers, for those who may not be familiar, what exactly is this membership model?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's direct primary care. And so basically, people come into the practice as members, like a gym membership.
Mm.
So as a result of being a member, they have direct access to me, the doctor. They can call, text, email us directly. And then that also allows them to come in as many times as they need. And the whole idea is not just easy access, because when people have easy access, and we have combined that with the time that we have to spend to listen and help them understand different health conditions. That together really is powerful because it really reduces them Googling and doing something random, getting that random WhatsApp message and
Right.
changing their medications based on that, because now they have access
Right.
to you. You can ask questions and you can
Right.
answer them. And so all that really helps to prevent serious health conditions and
Mm.
reverse health conditions, that chronic health conditions. Just by practicing in a very different model from the
Mhm.
traditional care model, it goes a long way.
Yeah, so it sounds like these, you mentioned it more than once. These are not like 10-minute, 15-minute appointments.
No, it's not enough time.
Mhm.
So I have been in that system where I did 15-minute appointments, and
Yeah.
in that system, all you can do is react to what's
Mm.
happening. You don't have that time to be proactive. Yeah, you could have all this list of all the things they're supposed to do, and you can just say, oh, yeah, you should do this, you should do this. Yeah, I recommend you quit smoking. But the time it takes to talk about it, maybe you do
Yeah.
a 5 minute talk with them, but then you're not seeing them again for another 3 months. By that time, a lot has happened. And so you're constantly chasing. You can't really take that time to be proactive about their care. In this model, I have this whole sheet for every
Yeah.
patient where I know exactly what's going on with them. I know what I'm worried about that we need to prevent. We have much more time to talk about it, and we can be intentional about our goal and our plans. And so long term, it's just very good that we are able to do this, and the patient has a much better understanding about their health. And so it's more effective
Yeah.
in reducing serious health conditions.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm like, maybe I should. I'll tell you, I can't remember the last time I've been to primary care, but I was
Say
thinking,
that. Doctors are notorious, I'm telling you. So that's one of my target people, because I actually have a couple of doctors in our practice, and it's because of the flexibility, that the fact that they can come in when we're busy, that's really attractive to them.
yeah,
And I have to like call them and tell you it's time for your physical, you need to come in. So
yeah,
yeah.
I'm guilty, but it's okay. It's okay. It's definitely a model that I would consider. I feel like we have to address the elephant in the room, right? And you hear things like membership and direct access. Talk about the insurance piece of it.
Yes, so we don't process insurance in the membership model. And the reason that we don't is because if we did process insurance, we'll be back to the traditional care model.
Mhm.
Because with insurance comes the need to see many patients to be profitable. And so if we would not be able to keep our doors open, if we were processing insurance and doing this at the same time, because of the way reimbursements work. So a lot of people don't understand, and of course, this is not a lesson on how insurance works, but the truth is, when insurance is involved, the price, it's so much more expensive. Your overhead is a lot more expensive. And so as a result, in order to keep up with all of that stuff, you have, the only way to do that is to see as many people as possible. And so in the insurance model, that's why we have what we have right now. You have to see as many patients as possible, and that plus the 15 to 30-minute appointments, right? In our model, by removing the insurance piece, we see a lot less people in terms of our panel. And so that's why we have the time that
Yeah.
we can give to each patient. And also, because we're not taking insurance, there's so many of those, the paperwork, the rules, all that stuff don't apply. And so we're able to really reduce our overhead and pass that cost on to the patient. So it actually is not, different practices have different pricing, but prices will range from like 900 to maybe 2,000 a year for a
Mhm.
person, depending on the practice. And which per month, a lot of people are able to do monthly payments too. So really, for many people, they are able to come and have that access to care. And so people that don't have insurance, at least they have a primary care doctor that takes care of 80 to 90% of their conditions. And then people that do have insurance, if they want that additional personalized care, they can have that, and then they can use their insurance outside of the practice.
And I feel like you said so many important things that I just want to break down because, yes, this is not a lesson on insurance because that's like a whole hour-long talk. But I think it's important to understand because we understand it because we have to deal with it. Because people here, I already pay for insurance. Why am I paying for extra? But insurance is part of the capitalist model of this country. And I try to stay off my soapbox. They basically control what we do, right? So in order for your doctor to stay open and be able to take care of you and to pay the staff to help take care of you, all of that stuff, like you would need to be, it's a numbers game. You just need to get as many people in as possible. And that's how you end up with 15-minute. I was working somewhere where I was doing 10-minute appointments because we just had to get so many people in. And those are the reins that they have on you when you do insurance. And then I think something else that's important to discuss as well is that people with insurance still end up paying a lot of money anyway. Co-pays, deductibles, all of that stuff. Why not pay for something that's so much better,
Right.
which is direct primary care? So yeah, I think it's important to go into it a little bit because it seems like a no-brainer to us, but I can see how to the person that's already paying so much for insurance, it could be like pass.
And something that is important to know, because when people say, oh, I'm already paying for insurance, what you get with insurance is very different from what we get here. So when you have health insurance, you may have tried to call your doctor and then they tell you to come. And guess what? Your insurance doesn't pay for your doctor to talk to you over the phone.
Right.
That's not a service that is under insurance. The only way your doctor gets paid is when you come in and they
Right.
bill a service. So that's one thing that we offer that insurance is not paying for. The
Yeah.
other thing is the time that we talked about. Like
Mhm.
many times, insurance will not fully reimburse you if you do multiple things in one appointment. So you can do the physical, but if you talk about your blood pressure, they're only going to reimburse part of that. So things like that make it so that the doctors are being controlled
Yeah.
by what insurance is going to reimburse to do what is best for you. But by taking that out, it doesn't matter when people come, if they want to do the physical, check their blood pressure, that I don't worry about that. All I look at is the person in front of me and what needs to be done. So by taking out that piece, it really frees me up to really take care of the patient the way that they need to be cared for.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds a win-win to me. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to, I know it can be a little bit odd when you go into insurance and money and things like that, but I think it is an important conversation to have. Yeah, thank you for explaining it so well. And I must say, your website is very good. It
Oh,
explains the model very well. It's very transparent. And it's another thing. I said I wasn't going to talk about insurance anymore, but here we are. With insurance, am I going to get a bill? I
right.
don't know what's going to happen. Like I've actually had to tell people, yes, I can do this for you, but I don't know if the insurance is going to charge you afterwards because we don't.
Mm.
We are not part of that process. But on your website, everything is just there. There's no guessing. You know exactly what you're paying for and how much. So I really enjoyed seeing that.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that's a big part too, because people get surprise bills. Not a good surprise when
Yeah.
you thought you had paid for everything, and then all of a sudden, 3 months later, here's a
Right.
bill, and that is never good. So that's a big part of the practice too. This is
Yeah.
what you're paying, you know exactly what it is, and there are no questions asked. So it makes it everybody's happy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah, we talked a lot about you when you're practicing lifestyle medicine. Is there anything we missed that you want people to know about your practice in particular or how you practice medicine?
Yeah, so I think one thing will be that people are not just numbers, and it's important as a person that you take charge of your health. Advocate for yourself, take charge of your health. There are different ways of caring for yourself and getting health care. And I know many of us are used to one model, but there are other ways out there. So don't delay your care. It's not worth it when you delay your care. We're talking about this model. If you don't have a doctor yet, look into it and see, because when we can address something early, it makes such a big difference
Yeah.
versus later. It's cheaper. You feel much better.
Yeah.
Your family and your friends are not as affected. Like a lot of times, sometimes there's a solution, but because we waited so long, we've made it so complicated when we can so easily fix it in the beginning.
Yeah.
So just want to encourage people to take their health, just pay attention, don't take it for granted,
Mhm.
just get care. It's
Yeah.
worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. Focus on prevention. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So my last question is one I ask everyone, what does it mean to you to be a Black physician, specifically family medicine and in this lifestyle medicine field?
Yeah, so as a Black doctor, I can communicate with people, Black people, much more easily. So they feel more comfortable because you're like them. They know you can relate to some of the things that they bring up. And so they're more comfortable. I think it's easier to build trust because that's something in the community. Sometimes there's some hesitance with help. But when they know that you can relate and you understand, it's easier to build that trust. And so they're much more likely to do what you recommend or suggest, which makes a difference. So I think, yeah, it's for me, being a Black doctor is important because it's needed.
Yeah.
And if it will help patients care for themselves for that reason, then it's worth it.
Yeah, the trust is big because
Yeah.
we have lots of reasons to not trust the health system and not trust us. So if just having somebody that looks like you relaxes you a little bit, then great. That's one small barrier to get over. That trust thing is real. We see it every day. So that's
Yeah.
really important. Yeah, so where can people find you? I know it's different for when you have a brick and mortar and you're not doing like telemedicine and things like that, but I think you're an asset to the people in Texas. So tell us, where can they find you and your practice?
Absolutely. So I'm in the Houston area in Sugar Land, Texas, and we do have a clinic in Sugar Land. And also, I can be found on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, In Touch Primary Care, where we put out a lot of valuable health tips. Also on Instagram and Facebook at In Touch Primary.
Perfect. And I love when physicians are out there because there are a lot of people out there who are educating with
Yeah.
no medical background. So, even if you can't go and see her in Texas, you can still go to her YouTube channel and learn about lifestyle medicine and ways to prevent all these conditions and just live a healthy and better life. Yes, Dr. Ashaye, it was a pleasure. I'm so glad we got to do this. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Toya. This was so much fun. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, great. All right, guys. I will see you next time on the next episode of the By Default Black Doctor Spotlight. Bye.